Check, check, check. There we go. Jesus. This is how you know I've been out of it for some time. Didn't stream for this whole week. All my settings got reset. So hopefully we're back in business. It's been a very, very, very busy week for me at work. Pretty much sucking all the mojo, the juices out of me. But I finally get back. Things are starting to slow down. And I actually got a script done and recorded. So we're going to get some Pathfinder content soon for those that are interested in jumping into the game, but are not super excited about the options available in the beginner's box. So I remember last stream I did, I went over a beginner box expanded. I will tell you, I was not a fan of how the stream went, how the recording went. So I wrote a script, wanted to do it right. So there's going to be a video covering the beginner block expanded for those that are interested in Pathfinder, will want to have more options when playing the beginner's box. So that should be up soon, most likely by this week. And yeah, so today we're going to be getting into some design, but as you can see, we're not looking at character design right now. We're looking at limit breaks, ultimate moves. What I'm wanting to introduce is some sort of ultimate move limit break system into pretty much 5e, and maybe be able to port it over into Pathfinder 2nd edition, because I don't think the conversion is going to be that hard. But that's one thing I'm looking at when we play. I've been playing a lot of Final Fantasy 16. Even Diablo 4 has ultimate attacks, ultimate abilities. And then another game I've been playing a lot is Honkai Star Rail. I've been killing my phone battery playing the hell out of that game. And there's ultimate moves. It's like a big thing in RPGs, especially Japanese RPGs. And that's kind of stuff that's trickled over into Western games. But it's not something that's really in D&D or in like TTRPGs, fantasy TTRPGs, even though there is a lot of it like anime, manga, and Eastern video game influence in our games. So I want to develop a system. Big thing that I wanted to do, and that was while I was looking at these sort of systems, is how they generated, especially limit breaks, how those were generated in order to unleash them. So as you can see, I kind of have some proto ideas on, like, some initial ideas on like how we're going to generate points. This is going to be very similar to something I've worked on with the Luchador and how it generates points, generates lucha die, so that you can do signature moves. It is something that is also kind of looking at with the Dreadnought and how it creates and generates I believe it was I forgot, it was like pretty much spell points. That's pretty much what it is, how it generates spell points. In the same way, looking at a universal system that can generate points based off of making successful attacks, casting spells if you're a spellcaster, or if you're being hit with an attack, because that was another thing that I've noticed in like Final Fantasy 7 limit break system, also Honkai Star Rail, that whenever you hit with an attack, it generates a point, or it generates some energy that eventually, once you hit your meter, boom, you can actually do your energy. But obviously, if we're going to have these super mega bodega super moves that can hopefully end conflicts faster, or create cinematic engaging moments, that's really what I'm aiming for most, instead of just like, yep, we're just gonna make the game end abruptly in combat, which you can already kind of do with certain combos. What I'm aiming to do is have this really be forward thinking, so that it works with the newer 5e stuff. Because there are some limits and there are some things already baked into new 5e that make it easier to probably accomplish this. Like if you're going to do a magic based limit break, well, you have magic action. Also, in order to have requirements, like especially when it comes to magic, there's going to be, you can restrict things based off of, okay, only people that have access to the divine list or the arcane list or the primal list can use this style of limit break. But also the other way I want to really limit that is this is going to be once per long rest. You do your special move once per long rest, and that's it. So that we can have these very interactive cinematic things. You can build up points, and then you can just unleash it, and then you got to build up another set of points before you can unleash it again. So that is the initial idea. Okay, can use limit break once per long rest. And then another thing we're probably going to do, I want you to have access and gain limit breaks, ultimate moves, and access to higher ones at higher levels. So what I'm thinking is following. Open up. Okay, for whatever. Oh. Give me a second. Here we go. Keep messing it up. It's gonna be like your standard 5e level progression buffs, where at each certain levels where you get that tier up. So what we're gonna do is, let me go to D&D Beyond. We'll look at, or pretty much we'll look at the wizard. Probably the easiest one to follow, because we know when it's getting like the bigger, power spike fighter's another one to look at too. So ultimate moves made me think of finishers in Mortal Kombat. Yes, they're kind of like that. I'm trying to line them more along the lines of stuff like Final Fantasy series, especially 7, 8, and I believe 9 also had pretty much these signature attacks. I'm trying to remember if 10 did. I do not remember if Final Fantasy 10 did. I know Final Fantasy 14, the online, each class has their own limit break that they do unleash. So when we're looking like big old power spikes for 5e, 5th level is 1. So 5th level. I want to say 10th level. So it's almost like every 5. Hold on, let's also look at another way to look at his fighter, because fighter is another good signifier because of how many times it gets the attack action, or they get their power spike. So okay, yeah, so 11th level, actually 10th, 11th level. So we can go 15th and then 20th, right? They get their capstone, or all close to their capstone. So we can do it every 5 levels. '20th, something like this. Maybe. Do something like this. It would seem to make a lot more sense. All right. Just one idea for limit breaks. We'll do option 1. Give me a sec. We're gonna do it this way. New 5e. Maybe we can consider this one. New 5e standard level progression. No, I need to get some. There we go. Okay. Maybe that, which was what? 3rd, 6th. Hold on, what was the some ideas on when this can actually kick on. We'll toy with it. Yeah, I've been a little I don't know, little stonewalled when it comes to working on class design stuff right now. But this is something I was like, oh, this is kind of like kicked on when I started thinking about it, how to apply a sort of resource tracking sort of overall system of a point generation system to do signature moves on average. Oh my god, Adobe, just work, man. Just work, Adobe, please. I just need is the level progression. So it was 3rd level, 6th level, 10th level, and 14th. All right. I'm really feeling the more like every 5 level list progression is a little bit stronger because you get that 20th level capstone where you get like Omni Slash sort of attack, and at every option you'd be able to pick different ones. So okay, other things I wanted to look at with this and really plan out requirements. So either you need to have martial weapon proficiency for certain ones. Expertise feature. See, since they're doing away with the overarching like class groupings from what it seems. Actually one better. What's the name? Yeah, since it makes it a little bit different to do this, because you do need to you would have been able to just like make certain ultimate moves that fit within everybody in the warrior, everybody in expert, everybody in priest and mage, and they may still be using these overarching group types, maybe. But I think on the from what it seems like on the last update that they did, or the last piece of testing, it looks like that went to the wayside a little bit, which I'm kind of glad, because that means it opens up those names and those those sort of yeah, pretty much those names and archetypes for people to do third-party stuff and make classes out of those classes or other functions. Requirements. What is the name of the weapon system? I always forget what the new weapon system is. New weapon system. Oh. My God, come on, let's find it. Let's find it. Weapon mastery. Duh. Pretty much limit certain ultimate moves based off of what you have access to. So if you have the expertise feature, another thing too. So they need to have a certain weapon, armor, or shield proficiency. The same thing for a certain skill proficiency. Maybe to open up certain ideas for certain kinds of limit breaks. And for spellcasters, like what kind of spell list do you have access to? So, let's see. Let's create one right now, so you guys kind of get an idea of like what I'm looking at. Let's do one for like a. We'll do something like triple cast. Spell list. Do something like this. Boom. As a magic action, right? Pretty much this is like a buffed up twin cast. Or twin spells, excuse me. So this one now it's just going to be as a magic action. Hold on. Looking at the wrong one. Something like that. You take a magic action. Yeah, there might be limits, right? Because magic actions based off of based on the way we know they're working with new 5e, right? They are susceptible to counterspell. Yeah, but that's what everybody's assuming. There will be susceptible to counterspell. So something to consider. Okay, hold on. Something like that is what I would think triple cast will look like. Another one I thought about, I'm stealing this from Honkai Star Rail. Omega Bobega Shield. Today, hey, what's going on, Nick? Today we are doing this. Limit breaks, ultimate moves. Sorry now, like the only thing you missed, like so far, like how I envision how you're gonna build limit breaks or ultimate moves based on they're taking influence from like Final Fantasy VII, Honkai Star Rail, and how they pretty much use a similar setup for limit breaks. You either have to make successful attacks. In terms of 5e, you need to be able to cast a spell. It's a way for spellcasters to actually obtain them. Also, if you're hit, the more you hit. No, this is not for Luchador. This is a class system. This is for the entire system, for every class. It's taking sort of these ideas, these point generation systems that I have for the Luchador, and also what is being developed in the Dreadnought, and see how we can also apply that to every class in a full system that makes them work. So this is ultimate moves for everybody. So this is the ways you can generate the points. For marshals, they need to be able to hit somebody with the attack. For spellcasters, they have to cast a spell. We'll probably do this. Weapon attack, cast a spell. Also, being hit with an attack is another way to generate limit break meter, I guess we can say that. You can use it only once per long rest. And then you have access to limit break options. We're still going to figure out like when you're going to need access to them. To be like, part of me likes that it comes in at 3rd level when your complexity for the game does come up, and then you get that cool finisher move that you can be able to use. But I think I'm gonna look at trying to do a version of it that mixes every 5 levels and the pretty much the defunct level progression system for the new 5e, and mix it, because I like it coming in at 3rd, but I would love you to have an ultimate move one coming in like around 18 to 20th level. Sorcerer and Warlock would really benefit from the limit break mechanic, yeah. For the fighter, I picture them just doing the fighter samurai 18 attacks in one turn, igniting the air with a swing of their weapon. Yeah, Omni Slash, brother. That is Omni Slash. So yeah, so that's pretty much what we're looking at. They're gonna have some requirements so that classes can only have access to them. You're just not gonna be able to pick whatever you want. Obviously, based off of how certain classes are built, they're probably some excuse me, something that will have to be looked at is for balancing reasons, because certain classes are going to have access to a little bit more, but also I think based off of the flavor of it, it might make a lot of sense to allow them, and also helps players kind of like play into certain fantasies. So if they want to play a paladin, that they're going to have access to the divine spell list, and they want to play paladin that's a little bit more on the Healy side, that might be it. Omni Slash doesn't ignite the air though. You say you just want a super omega super slash that just explodes everybody? Is that what you're saying? So yeah, this is what the requirements are going to be. You need certain access to certain things, certain skills, certain proficiencies, weapon, armor, shield proficiencies. You have to have access to the weapon mastery system, or you need to have the expertise feature or access to a spell list. And the way I see these all kind of being split up, obviously you're going to have your more aggressive attack ones, a bunch of buff and debuff ones also. So these ultimate moves and ultimate attacks are always just going to be towards like annihilating your enemy. It's going to be stuff that allows you to swing the fight in certain directions. So that is the idea. So triple cast is one pretty much idea. It's pretty much taking twin spell and then adding an extra person to it. And let's see, because so we're gonna look at Final Fantasy limit breaks also, because I'm pretty sure somebody has a list of them somewhere, or I just want to see a list of names. A list of names of attacks. Oh. Okay, well, this. Well, the ultimate that heals everyone be a buff. That's something I think it is probably what we will have. But we can look at. We can look at this. Look at this. Let's kind of see what we're working with. Beat rush, somersault, water kick, meteor dive. Oh, another one. Class specific. We can also do that too. Something that is so iconic it doesn't fit in any other class. We can also do that. Just stuff like this, like seal evil, cast silence to stop on all enemies, sans enemies that are immune. Breath of the earth. Red 13's Lunatic High, casts haste on self and raises his defense by 50% for each living party member. Bloodfang. Cosmo Memory. Cake Sith slots. Oh my god. This is taking me back. Oh my, I don't even remember getting all the ultimate limit breaks for all these characters for Final Fantasy. I did Omni Slash. I don't even know how I pulled it off, but I managed to get it at the Gold Saucer. Let's see. I found Cosmo Memory. Never unlocked Ares before she died. Catastrophe. Yeah, Cosmo Memory. Remember getting that in the Shinra safe. Ooh, takes me back. There's also some cool ones. Let's see. Best limit breaks in the franchise. Okay, there we go. Yeah. Oh, how can I do that, man? Since this is a little dark, we'll put you guys down here. Tornado. Blitz Ace. Oh my god, I remember that. Yeah, there's just Overdrive. Catastrophe. Yep. Yeah, of course, Omni Slash was gonna make it Lionheart. Yep, I remember this one. Don't remember this one. Which one? Final Fantasy 13 trilogy is Army of One. Okay. Great Gospel. Dang. Yep, never unlocked this one. Oh yeah, we're gonna be looking at like that. It's gonna be an easier thing to really develop. So now we're back here. Omega Bodega Shield. This one I'm stealing from Honkai Star Rail. But pretty much give you guys a barrier. Pretty much a massive temp HP. As an action, expend your limit break pool toward... It really depends. So the general idea isn't to give like a single one for a class, and more so create a bunch of different ones at various levels, and that the player can pick and choose what fits best for their character. Give Druids a spirit bomb from DBs. Oh my god. That is gross. Yeah, that'd be funny. For those that have been playing or looking at Pathfinder, they're releasing a new class this coming month called the Kineticist. And one of the feats, at least I saw in the play test, is pretty much that. It is a spirit bomb. The Kineticist is pretty much your elementalist. They can channel, depending on how you build them, they can channel the elemental energy from one or two planes. And one of their feats is pretty much spirit bomb. You just sit back, channel your element of choice, and then you fireball, spirit bomb them. It's pretty sick. As an action, expend your limit break pool to ward your allies. Let's go ward. Let's see. One thing I want to look at, not the shields hell, but because I think all shields just give a +2. It would be pretty interesting if you can scale based off like your shield. Shield equipment. That's what I want to look at. Yeah, shields only give you a +2 armor class. So like, oh, trying to think. Oh, and on Honkai Star Rail, pretty much the shield gives you a massive. It's from a character called Chapard. His ultimate move is that he pretty much brings up a whole block of ice that creates a shield on all your characters, and it pretty much gives them a whole thing of temp HP. And that's pretty much what I'm kind of trying to revisit in this one. But I also wanted scaling a little bit. I add some scaling into it. Mystical Ward. Creatures of your choice within 60 feet of you. If shields had different modifiers, like defense modifiers that add to your AC, Omega Bobega, just really big. It's a placeholder name. I'm not serious. But yeah, if shields had, like, if there was a variety of shields and they had different levels, it'd be like, yeah, 5 times the armor class bonus provided by your shield, so that at later levels, that say that you get a shield that it gives you +3 to your AC instead. Okay, well, that's gonna be 15, you know. It incentivizes you to create more. What are we looking for? We are looking for it's a warlock deck. Pulling up on the side for D&D now. Warlock spell. Armor of Agathis, that's what it is. Armor of Agathis. I just want to see the scale of it. Okay, we'll do Armor of Agathis scaling. What about add your spellcast mod to AC? Well, this is mainly for like a say you're playing a shield-based excuse me. Play like a shield-based fighter or paladin, or even a barbarian. This is kind of like a ultimate that you can pull off, a limit break. You take enough hits and you're just like, okay, well, I just want to ward me and my team with some temp HP. Massive. So if you were to get pretty much we'll look at the spell progression right now. We'll look at the spell progression. Warlock and how they work. So they get Armor of Agathis. They get 10. . You have creatures of your choice within 60 feet. You gain 10. Gain 10 temporary hit points. Okay, so we do that. We'll do that. So yeah, so this one will scale a bit. So at okay, what's that? Hit points gained. Temporary hit points gained increases by 5 at 10 at X, Y, and Z levels. Well, as soon as we know how that works, so that it kind of does scale a little bit. What is Japard's? Let me see what his ultimate is. What's his ultimate move? Okay. Enduring Bulwark, here we go. We'll just copy the name. I do not care. I do not care. They don't own it. Okay. So there's that. Just some general ideas. For Paladin Break, is it lazy that I just want to throw Disintegrate on a Smite and call it good? Call it good. Oh god. Try to think. Okay, because there's a lot of ways to play. Yeah, like a super mega smite would be sick. Because I could kind of see like in my head some big old Gurren Lagann kind of like action. Because in Gurren Lagann, the main character on his mech, he can continually grow the drill that he uses. The more, pretty much, the more fighting spirit, I guess, how they put it. The more effort, the more willpower, the more drive that they have, increases their actual power level in that anime. And I can see visually the paladins so fired up by their conviction, their belief in their oath, their faith in their oath, that their hammer or whatever weapon just freaking grows and just smites the battlefield, as like a. So. Okay. Let's. Oh shoot. Put this over here. You need to be the paladin class. Just kind of giving us like a good idea of like two as a proof of concept, right? We know one. Like, well, if you're a spell list, what like I kind of have in mind triple cast. Okay, Enduring Bulwark if you have some sort of like armor or weapon proficiency or shield proficiency, kind of like the general idea of like we're going with. And then let's look at something for the paladin. Got to be something cooler than drop the hammer. Let's go to some MTG. I know there's one I want to do, but I'm thinking that I'll save it for the cleric, and it's Wrath of God. Like I have that name in the ready to go. And Wrath of God is a very iconic Magic the Gathering spell. Actually, I'll pull it up on here. It is very, very simple. Very simple, but very iconic Magic the Gathering spell. You just wipe the battlefield. That's all it does. But it has been a format. Every time it's been introduced into competitive formats, it's been a staple. There are others now that when they introduce them, they have a little bit more complexity, but they're not at the efficiency of cost that they introduce it at, which Wrath of God comes in at 4, which is usually in most competitive formats, for standard at least. The fourth turn is the make or break turn. But they've slowed the game down, the format down to be a little bit more interactive. So now most what's it called, board wipes like this come in at 5th, like cost 5 mana now. So, but for a very, very long time, Wrath of God was it. I want to use this for a cleric. Anything that hammerers, hammer skull, jackhammer, dwarven hammer, fall of the hammer, forge hammer, centurion. Yeah. Hammer Perforos, jackhammer, Koth of the hammer, Rolf's hammer, volcanic hammer, Brunor, Colossus hammer. Well, hold on. There is Diablo 4. Diablo 4, what is the barbarian hammer? Oh, it's Hammer of the Ancients, that's what it's called. Hammer of the Ancients. All right, let's see if we can get some good smites then. All the hammers, yeah. Oh, that's all we got. That's all we got for this. Trying to think. Well, Commander. Okay, let's look at Commander Masters. Since this is all reprints, we'll be able to see some cool, like older cards that have some cool names. Strixhaven's always going to be a good one too. I'm looking at Magic the Gathering. It's been a very long time since I've actually played Magic the Gathering 2 of all things. I have not played this in a long time. I have a bunch of cards that I need to make decks for, but I've had no drive to be like, yep, we're gonna ooh, okay, I want to do a spell of Cyclonic Rift. That'd be sick. Ultimate move of Cyclonic Rift. Just banish everybody. Okay. Curtain's Call, Deadly Rollick, Demonic Tutor, Sanguinate. Oh man, we'll find something. Are you guys? I know what I noticed. Coming out, like more games that are coming out. Baldur's Gate 3 is just around the corner. Is anybody picking it up? I bought the the early access, so I just need to re-download the game and I'll be ready to go. But it legitimately is around the corner. It is next month. In like 2 weeks, the game will be out. I've been tempted to do maybe a video or two, maybe some live streams of playing the game, but a video or two to see if to see if character building techniques and theory and the process of character building, multi-classing and stuff translates over into Baldur's Gate, or if so much of the changes that they made to the 5e system to make it more applicable to a video game is so vastly different that stuff that would normally be ignored or not really used at or seen as efficient or optimal at the table is actually optimal in the game. Oh, already have it. Okay, same here. Had it since early access, but didn't have to play it much, but didn't want to ruin the enjoyment by playing it too much in early access. I've pretty much every time they released a class, I God, you kidding. Anyway, I'll just keep you guys. I played the class and then I dipped. That's pretty much it. Like, I played the class, figured it out, looked at it, didn't always completely play it through like to level 4, level 5, but played enough to see like, okay, did they translate the mechanics well? Do they function like they would function close to the table? And what were the mechanical limitations to it? Because there are spells that do not translate well from table play into Baldur's Gate 3. There are like actual limitations, especially when it comes to illusion spells and stuff. I haven't really found them too intuitive, and they're some of the my preferred spells to use at the table. I don't buy anything at release anymore, especially AAA games. You are a smart man. You are smart. You definitely are smart. That means you can watch me get frustrated with the game if it's bad. And I spent $60-$70 on it. So. You win and I lose, but yeah. I hope we get a compendium for the stats of the unique creatures from Baldur's Gate 3 like they did with the Spelljammer Dragonlance. That'd be interesting. Yeah, see, like that'd be very, very interesting if they release like some sort of DM's Guild supplement to go alongside that. Because Baldur's Gate 3 story is considered canon because it takes place a little after the events of Descent into Avernus. So it is considered canon for people that care about where we at? We need one. Okay. Yeah, for people that really care about pretty much Forgotten Realms lore. Okay, I'm not finding anything. Righteous Confluence. Pure Steel Palette. Some other Shelter Steel Safe. Okay, nope. Man, we'll find something cool name for this. Yeah, I might play some Final Fantasy and make it like an hour or two, just because I really want to jump back into the game. I could be wrong, to be honest, Fallen, but from what I remember saying that Descent into Avernus happens first, and then Baldur's Gate 3 events happen. But I could, honestly, I could get that wrong. Proctor, Thunder, Orator. Okay, maybe some red. Oh, I'm gonna put up a poll because I want you guys to self-report. Oh, hold on. That is not it. Hold on. We got to do there's do engagement function. I never do that. Who romancing the druid? There we go. There we go. So, yeah, self-report. You're gonna self-report. You self-report yourself, you put yes. Oh, yeah. Oh, this is funny. Yeah, like I was in the most recent like telecast for Baldur's Gate 3, I was like super hyped for it because it's like, okay, we're gonna get to see Dragonborn, maybe get to see some half orc and and see the character customization. Maybe we get to see some monk. I was like, okay, see some monk gameplay. And we got to see some Dragonborn. They didn't really show any half orc, but like the thing that ran away with that whole presentation, the pre-launch presentation, was that you get to romance the druid and do the deed with it when it's in its bear form. Infernal Machine Barb subclass. With oh, I saw that. Yeah, they're adding in like a new Tiefling Barbarian, right? And then it has its, I guess, a custom subclass for it. Or I don't know if they just rename or reflavored or renamed the subclass from the book or from the official content. Here's a question now. If you play a druid, can you also be in wild shape? Well, that seems way more appropriate, to be honest, than whatever weird vampire druid bear thing that they had going on in that telecast. In that live stream. Don't know what that was. There's a colossal hammer. A colossal hammer. Oh. Colossus hammer. We'll just go with that. To be honest. I wonder if they're gonna have any cameos in Baldur's Gate 3. I know, is it Minx and Boo? They're in it. I believe Matt Mercer, Critical Role, Mr. Critical Role himself is doing the VO for that one. So there is that. They're bringing him back from the previous games. I'm pretty sure. For me, since I've never played a Baldur's Gate 1 or 2, all that stuff's gonna go over my head. So if it wasn't featured in like more like 5e media, I'm probably gonna have no idea who the hell they are. Yeah, Volo is in the game. Volo is definitely in the game. As an action and fusion weapon with the Divine Fury transform into a Colossal Hammer. Creatures and hold on. I need to look at some wording on Fireball, because this is pretty much the way I'm seeing it. You bring this giant hammer, you're gonna smash people within 20 feet on a 20-foot radius. Fireball. Trying to let's make a dexterity saving throw. Product damage. Maybe something like that. Maybe something like that. Colossal Hammer. We kind of see that general idea of that. Only thing I'm not looking forward to, like, for Baldur's Gate right now is, like, re-downloading the whole damn game. It was like, dang. That is a chunky bit. That is a chunky bit. Yeah. Not looking forward to that. But yeah, this is pretty much the general idea. What's going on? What's going on, Hornetico? We are pretty much I'm working on a more of a system instead of a subclass or a class right now. Kind of taking a little bit of break away from designing the Dreadnought and also designing updates for the Luchador. So looking at just doing an overall ultimate moves, limit break style system for all the classes for 5e. So yeah, so that's pretty much the big thing right now. How I'll clean this up later to like really give it official wording, but the way I'm looking at it is like, this is how it's going to work. You got to generate points, generate a quote unquote energy, and based off of reaching a certain amount of energy, that's when you can unleash your limit break. So that is the idea right now. I want them to be impactful, swingy, also be things that are cinematic and like really like get you really hyped and your friends can talk about. They probably are not really balanced, to be honest. There probably won't be. Yeah, and it's something I've been thinking about, especially since I've been playing a lot of Pathfinder. Of all things, that's what made me really think about it. Since Pathfinder is a very team-oriented like game, very team-oriented game, I was like, man, one thing about 5e2 is I really wish there was like these very cinematic abilities that are a little bit more team-oriented or swingy, and that I miss from 5e, but also I think something that could also be applied to Pathfinder 2nd Edition too. Yeah, pretty much the way I'm gonna do a video on this soon about my experience so far with Pathfinder 2nd Edition and learning some very hard lessons and learning how to break some habits as a 5e player and predominantly 5e player. My player group is kind of going through growing pains right now, and we're still sort of like feeling it out with this last session. This last session last night, actually, as we played our game, we actually made some party changes, some respecs, some new characters were introduced just to make a more cohesive team. And yeah, I'm gonna do a video on this talking about it, because I think with everything that's happened, people are experimenting and looking at other systems, and especially looking at Pathfinder 2nd Edition because it is the alternative. I will say, if you want, for those that like to character build and like a little bit more like optimization from 5e, but also really want a combat oriented system that has like really solid grasp of combat rules, you're gonna freaking love Pathfinder 2nd Edition. But the thing is, you have like, it is a combat centered game, and you really have to operate in efficient manners. And so if your play group like mine also uses combat as a vehicle for roleplay, and they don't always have their character operate in a optimal manner, you're going to run into some issues for Pathfinder 2nd Edition. So like my group leans a little bit more like, it's not that some of us don't optimize, but like we do use combat as a vehicle for roleplay. And 5e is very forgiving at that aspect, because you legitimately can have one person brute force, or the entire group brute force, not really have too many tactics, and take down an enemy. You can't do that in Pathfinder. Like it really is teamwork oriented. You really have to get every bonus you can. And that is one hard lesson we're learning, that we got to lean into the game aspect of it. So the one question, and anybody that's been in the Dungeoneers Pack Discord, I've been talking. I think Black Ouroboros has been going back and forth with me too about this, because he shout out to him, and he is the predominant, I guess, spokesperson for Pathfinder in the Discord right now. And it's just one of the things I said. In a couple months, I'll look back on it, and then I will see if my group has really adjusted to Pathfinder 2nd Edition, or we just realize we enjoy the game and the system for what it is, but it doesn't suit our playstyle. And then at that point, we just need to decide, are we going to continue forcing ourselves to play this if we know we're not having like the most fun potential, I guess the way you could put it. Like, we're just not having the most fun with it as we could have if we would have just went back to 5e. Or we try out something like Cypher System, which is very much a narrative focused sort of game that, from my limited experience in it, the mechanics support a narrative play a lot more and don't get in the way of itself. That either we transition to that or we go back to 5e, because it is not just a comfort zone, but it suits our group's play style a little bit more. So yeah, that's something like we'll have our talk, and then based off of that, I'll probably talk about it and do the video on that too. And I think part of it. Hey, what's going on, Steven? Glad you see you recognizing ASDF's contributions. Yeah. No, but pretty much, I think after the OGL, there obviously is a well-due and well-earned resentment towards D&D, but there's also this really, really murkiness within the creator space, because some of us are like, depending on how our audiences are, the people, like, you know, there's people that like, we love 5e, but also we're stepping on landmines if we cover 5e content, because we're gonna get those comments, we're gonna get the people just kind of like railing against us. But then also, it's for a lot of other content creators, it's business as usual. They're still covering 5e content, still covering D&D, no matter what. And then there's newer channels that have been popping up, and they're still covering D&D. Yeah, luckily, you know a few people making systems you can try later. And yeah, that's another thing. Being in this side of the space and having access to other creators that are creating those systems, that it does give does allow me to try out new stuff. So Sagas is coming out from OK as DM. Indestructible Boy has Vagabond. What's going on, doll? I think Dungeon Coaches also has his own system coming out too. And then is Shadow Dark also is another system that is out, or that is coming out, that a lot of folks have been talking about. That looks really, really I've heard nothing but good things. I haven't looked at it personally myself, but I've heard nothing but good things. Yeah. So for me, it's not that I worry or recoil and don't want to cover 5e stuff because of the backlash. I generally don't care. For me, it's finding the fun in it and wanting to cover it again and do 5e content. This is a homebrew. Yes, it is. It is a third-party homebrew design. We're working on a limit break ultimate move sort of system. Knights in here. Ooh, okay. When you have that, I would like to see it. Oh yeah. So for me, like, since my channel, when it initially started out, was really character build focused, and I know people that are following now are finding old character builds and also short of character builds and would like me to return to that content. But 5e is going to rapidly change next year. So that means a lot of these builds, a lot of this stuff is different. And also 5e character builds are pretty much figured out as of now. Like I respect D4 Deep Dive because that is his bread and butter, optimized character builds, and he's still plugging away at it. But for me, it's like, yeah, a lot of the optimized portion of like character builds are kind of figured out. Yeah. So for me, it's like, okay, what can I do now? So like I am focusing a little bit more design stuff, kind of branching out. I'm gonna do a little bit more Pathfinder content, but also really trying to figure out what my niche is. Because I already know like me bouncing around and doing stuff is affecting quote unquote growth. But also I want to have fun doing this stuff too. And that's the big. I really want to have fun doing and pursuing this content, and you know that's really always been my goal, because I always been of the mindset if you can really tell when the content creator is enjoying the content that they're making, because it does come out in the work. So taking a little break from 5e has been nice, at least in terms of covering like news and that kind of stuff. But also makes it harder because they haven't, like, OGL did really, like, the OGL did screw up their release schedule because you know, all their books got pushed back because they got their feet put to the fire. That got books coming out when they probably wouldn't have came out. Helpful to remember, a lot of people will stick with 5e vanilla rather than move to 5e raspberry. I think that's the sentiment now. I will say when the book comes out, and maybe 3 to 6 months afterwards, it will not be. I have a feeling no matter what, people are going to transfer over to new 5e, and it will be business as usual. And it will be a very, very small pocket of people that will still gravitate towards like old 5e. I tried Pathfinder. It has a lot of options though. The DM was very busy, sad. Yeah. As a group right now, my group is all learning Pathfinder. I feel bad for my cousin who's our DM right now, because he originally was going to step up to the plate and DM for us in a 5e game. The OGL happened and we're just like, hey, we want to try Pathfinder. And he was going to start our Eberron game as a 5e game. And then we're like, hey, let's try Pathfinder and play this new game, a new campaign in Pathfinder. So he has to learn not only an entirely new system, but also really learn the ropes of being a DM at the same time. So it's been, Pathfinder is interesting. Like I like certain aspects of the game. I know as a player the kind of stuff I like. But based off of how my party plays, I'm very much more adaptable to that, to make sure everybody's having fun versus my own personal fun. Last night, talking a little bit of Pathfinder and a little what happened last night. So like I said, we introduced new characters or did a respec. So the weekend before, we had an issue with a boss fight. So normally in 5e boss fights, if it's one versus a group of like 5, 6, whatever, 4, your action economy outweighs the enemy, and you most likely it's pretty much going to be pretty set and done. After a couple rounds, you're going to win. Pathfinder, on the other hand, is not like that. Everybody has the action point system. You may have more action points, excuse me, but classes and stuff are balanced on action points. So spellcasters don't dominate Pathfinder in the same way that they do in 5e, because certain spells cost more action points. Enemies operate on the same spectrum of how many points, but a lot of their points and a lot of their moves are way more efficient, so they're a lot more deadly. So they can make 3 attacks on a character, and that character there's a good chance that character is going to get killed. In addition to this, since the way defenses work, you really have to get these modifiers and give each other little small statistical advantages so that you can bring that number down and be able to actually hurt the thing. So the weekend before, we had an issue with a 2v7 boss fight, and we actually almost had a couple characters die because of it. And it was because a lot of us were just brute forcing it, sticking to what we were doing in 5e. We just wanted to do big PP damage, and that was it. That was pretty much the focus. What's going on, David? Yeah, Random's one of the my best friend and one of the players in the game. But yeah, we just so used to brute forcing it with finding character builds or having character concepts that do big PP damage. It's just really big damage. Pathfinder doesn't operate like that. So we came into this week with new characters. So I brought in a new character. Because I was playing a Thaumaturge, and based off of our group composition, my character originally was the one doing a lot of the heavy damage. Even though Thaumaturge is a very utility-based class, I was trying to do the best of my ability of being able to support my team, but also do as much damage as possible. You ain't gonna be doing damage if you're missing. So there was nobody giving buffs. This week, on the other hand, I brought in a bard, and then our rogue player respect their character to be a fighter. Having a bard teamed up with our party cleric, giving these small little buffs, allowed our new fighter character, or our new fighter, yeah, the new fighter character, to come in and annihilate whatever threat we had. So the fighter was making attacks and just hitting, doing like 60 damage on their turn on their own. That's what you missed, David. You missed Adrian pop off. I will say that Adrian popped off. And we're just like, okay, well, now we found the missing spice, we found the missing ingredient, so it did make us happy. But then we also still had some of our players still not adjusting and still role playing like we normally do in combat, and being very adamant that their character is going to act in a certain way. But even though Pathfinder rewards efficiency and rewards optimal tactical play, so we still had a bit of an issue. So our characters still had to adjust to that situation we had, which was we're fighting a bunch of plants. Our goblin inventor that rides their dog got grappled. Their dog got grappled. The robo dog got grappled. Pulled in. It was going to get eaten. And instead of just jumping off, he's like, I'm going down with the ship. You're not going to take my dog. And well, we had to adjust and pretty much focus fire and get all our resources to go save our thing. What he needed to do was did what he eventually just did was jump off his dog, explode it, and he would have been saved, but he did it until the end. But either way, like, just finding out, even though as a bard I did absolutely no damage that game, giving a +1 to attacks and damage, making sure all the other characters that do attacks and like were able to hit, casting fear to lower AC and lower overall damage output of my enemies, it just made the game a lot easier. And then add in our cleric, who was also doing the same, providing guidance, writing magic weapon, casting magic weapon. The fight was a lot smoother. Yeah. That chunky rulebook does not want you to improvise. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, Pathfinder has a big old rulebook. A really, really big rulebook. Let me see if I can pull it up. And also, they're updating all the rules, too, because the core rulebook, they're doing 2-player core books, a new monster book, and everything. Actually, this year, all of it starts to roll out. Well, yeah, that's one thing. It's like, role-playing in combat, it has to kind of go a little bit of the wayside for Pathfinder, which is kind of a little bummer for me, to be honest. Like, that's one thing. In 5e, you can get away with like role-playing in combat, because if somebody's like, well, my character's not going to attack stuff, they're upset or whatever, and they're just gonna go do off this thing, well, since the classes are the way they are, magic is the way it is, their characters can fill that gap. Yeah, as long as you buff everyone, still did something other than what I've seen from time to time, where the players just stare and don't do a lot in the some situations. Yeah, and that's why I felt accomplished. But a part of me likes doing big PP damage. Just what it is. I like playing aggressive characters, more melee oriented characters, melee spellcaster characters. Forever is like what I prefer to play, but in terms of what my play group really needs, they needed way more support. For at least the first 2 months we've been playing, we only had one spellcaster, so it's been rough. And just having my bard come in, and then our rogue respec into fighter. about the only time he had. Worked from 7 a.m. to 2 a.m. this morning. No chance to even think about it. Dang. Yeah, that sucks, man. Well, we're on a little 2-week break anyway, though. So everybody's going to Comic-Con. We got birthdays coming up too. So my character dream concept, Beyblade Barbarian, you can do that in Diablo. You can be the Beyblade. You can live your Beyblade dreams in Diablo. Oh, Kineticist. Kineticist looks dope. Kineticist, for those not familiar with Pathfinder 2nd Edition, is pretty much your elementalist. They are able to pretty much channel or open a gate inside them of one of the elemental planes. They can either channel 2 elemental planes or 1. On the final version, they can only do that. And they manipulate the elemental forces of that plane. They can still obtain other elemental forces as they level and progress. So if you want to play Avatar, Last Airbender, or whatever, you eventually can be able to do that. But it's sick. And it has a lot of build variety. It is a very different, very, very complex class because it focuses entirely on choosing feats to really flesh out what you're going to be doing. But there's a lot of build variety in it where you can play more of a caster. You want to play more of a melee person, you can do that too. Not the aliens, the arrow, yeah. There. Now I'm realizing about jokes. Yeah, the blue one. Oh god, no. Imagine Avatar: The Last Airbender with a Na'vi. Be weird. If I have cause to be in Pathfinder 2, I'm eyeing up a metal kineticist. Yeah, same. If my play group didn't bring in the fighter and we needed a tank and say about a fighter character like played a bard or another support class, I would have brought in a metal kineticist. Being able to turn into Colossus from the X-Men sounds pretty badass. It'd just be a really badass tank. If anything, though, like I had a couple concepts for it. If I was going to be allowed to play a metal kineticist, since our game is in Pathfinder 2nd Edition, I was probably going to be a House Cannith character, and all the metal that they're bending is actually them manipulating tools and manipulating their pretty much being like a really quick artificer. They're just manipulating all the little gadget stuff to create metal shields and metal weapons and metal armor on the fly. That was the concept for the metal kineticist. I probably model him a little bit after Sigma from Overwatch because I like how Elemental Blast works, and I'm like, oh, okay, well I can have these two like metal balls that I just fling at people. Oh, metal. Oh shoot, no. Kuvira. Oh, armor like Kuvira from Korra. Yeah. Korra is such a good cartoon. I'm looking forward to the new Avatar, like the third Avatar they're going to introduce eventually. Sigma. But yeah, like Pathfinder's sick. I don't know if I'm going to do character build videos for it. I don't feel comfortable in my knowledge and grasp of the game yet to be like, yes, you're gonna build this character for the XYZ. Maybe if I just approach it in a way that is not about optimization and go more lean towards just flavor, maybe I can get away with it. But I think the safe bet would just be to wait and hold off and talk more about my experiences playing Pathfinder instead. We'll see. I'm still trying to really find my bread and butter of like what I want to do with my channel for now. Third avatar is like modern day, so prepare for slang that makes the eye roll backwards. If they're gonna add slang, I honestly hope they don't try to do modern slang and create their own that makes sense in world. Something like they did in Batman Beyond. If you watch Batman Beyond would have their own slang. And it makes a lot of sense. Like, okay, they just do that for like the third avatar. Play me, oh hot man. Because what's the third avatar supposed to be? Is it going to be a waterbender or is it going to be a firebender? I don't remember how the order goes. That's gonna be a sick cartoon though. Gonna be a sick cartoon. Yeah, Cyberpunk has its own slang. Yep. All right. Do we want to see if we can create another idea for this, or we just have this proof of concept right now and let it cook? Oh, okay. So it's gonna be Earth. Ooh, sick. Okay. Yeah, because what it was. Yeah, because Aang was air, Korra was water, and then yeah, Earth, and then it'll be fire. Interesting. It's gonna be pretty sick. All right, I think. Are you guys want to see some Final Fantasy? I think I'm down to play some Final Fantasy right now. I think we're going to be playing some Final Fantasy right now. Let's hear my PlayStation. It's loading. It is loading. Okay, let's go. Let's play some Final Fantasy right now. Play some Final Fantasy 4 or 16, excuse me. Go here. Settings here. All right, you have a good one, Fallen. Thank you for stopping by. Thank you for stopping by. All right, thank you too, Steven. Go take a good one, man. I am changing my settings right now so we can load up Final Fantasy 16. Pick up where we left off. Game is amazing. Yeah, I bought the Avatar, the Last Airbender, or the Avatar RPG. I have it. Look through it. Interested in playing it. I know I have a couple of my players in my play group that are like really big Avatar fans. So eventually we might get into it. There's so many games we want to play, but there's only so much time. You guys hear that? Here. Final Fantasy going on. left off. Okay.
It was good.
So last we left off, we found out that Clive's brother is alive. So the whole first part of this game, Clive was full on emo. Let's pet our boy. Let's pet our boy. Let's pet our boy. Come on. There we go.
After it.
We found out, yeah, his brother's alive. Clive is still emo wrecked because he thinks he killed his brother. So now, I think we're gonna run into his brother. What is this? Oh, crystal, water. Oh, okay, hold on. Did they add it? Did they add it? Hold on. Oh, here. Hold on. Hold on. Get rid of this motion blur. Get rid of motion blur. Oh my god. You guys don't understand.
Fresh cuts. Get your fresh cuts here.
Oh. Okay, let's see. Motion blur was so bad. I had no idea.
I knew that children were
Okay,
tested.
let's take this up.
Their bearer's fate was decided at birth.
All right, we're going back
It
to.
was best for all
We're
concerned.
going back home.
I know. But for a child to be blamed, to be hated by its parents through no fault of its own.
We knew nothing of what it meant to be born that way. Did we?
No. Over here.
Oh, we got a lot of.
There, boy. It's over.
I gotta remember my buttons, to be honest.
You know what to do. Get up. Get him. Get him, boy.
Okay.
Sick of Toggle. Keep your distance, boy.
Cook crab, let's go. Get some crab legs.
Over here. Garuda, lend me your strength. Sick of Toggle. Over here. Sick of Toggle.
Oh, I forgot. I got my homegirl back with me too. Whoop. Let's go. Okay. Let's make our way back. Kind of got my control bearings back again. We need to get back on the road. Ooh, what is this? What color chocobo is this? There's chocobos. Bluebird. Oh. You want to fight? Okay.
There, boy. Give them all you've got, boy. Sick of Toggle.
You want to fight? Let's get some wild chocobo.
Keep your distance, boy. Get him, boy.
I know there's got to be a way to capture them. There's got to be a way to be able to get on these chocobos and ride them.
Get him, boy.
Get over here.
Get him.
All right, there we go. Okay, let's make our way back. Got it. I don't even, honest, I'm gonna be honest, I don't know if I'm even walking the right way. items. Can I grab this big boy?
Not this time. You know what? Get him.
Bring it down.
Sick of Toggle. You know what to do.
Let's go.
Keep your distance, boy. Get him, boy. Get him, boy. Too slow. Not this time.
Bring it down.
Get them all you've got, boy.
A mini boss fight.
Get him,
This is sturdy.
Sick of Toggle.
Let's go. Level up. Worth the fight. And then there was, I believe, a chest over here. Sick. Okay, we gotta go that way. There's some plants over here that could die. Hello.
Mistakes.
Hello.
Don't let them get away.
That punch.
Get him. There, boy. Sick of Toggle.
There we go. Okay. Just doing a lot of fighting right now. A lot of fighting. All right, let's try to make our way back. Or, I don't know if it's around. I'm just so glad they took off motion blur. My God. It's made the game so much more bearable. Oh, okay, here we go.
Get him, boy. Over here. Sick of Toggle. Over here.
Did not realize I can use that too.
Get him. There's the Abbey.
Let's go.
What darkness awaits us within, I wonder.
Let's go and see.
We started.
Sick of Toggle. Give them all you've got, boy. Don't let them get away.
Okay. Give me a sec. I hear the audio messing up right now. We always pet the dog. Game of the year. Game of the year, pet the dog. Can't do that in Zelda. Can't do that in Zelda.
Good day to you. I'm afraid the Abbey is not open for public prayer. May Griga go with you?
We came to offer a donation. From Martha.
I see. Then please, follow me.
This guy didn't look too enthused about doing that.
I don't want to die. Please, Father. Something for the pain. I beg you. The light, it fades. I don't want to die alone.
It's all right. I'm here.
Who are these people?
Martha's bearers. She entrusted them to my care, that I might ease their suffering. To the extent that I can, for the time they have left.
The curse has taken them. All of them.
As it does every bearer forced to use their gift. With each draw on the ether, their bodies petrify, till all that remains is stone and pain, and so they are cast aside. There is nothing either Martha or I can do to change that, but we can at least strive to make their final hours a little more bearable. Have faith, my son, for you shall rise again, and find the happiness denied you in this life.
Dang. R.I.P.
Thank you, Father.
R.I.P. man. Dang.
I must offer you my own thanks for the medicine you so kindly brought. The
That's right.
final moments may be moments of peace. When next you see Martha, pray tell her that 2 more have succumbed.
People be dying, man. Dang.
We should get back to Martha's Rest.
Yes, we should.
Alright, I guess we're gonna have to walk back. One of the okay, no, it's not. All right. Some waypoints you can get. You can make it a lot easier to kind of travel. Ooh. Shiny. Shiny. run back. Let's go talk to the barkeep. We did her little mission.
Come and have a look. Don't be shy.
And then maybe we'll be able to actually progress the main story a little bit.
You ain't pulled that sword from its scabbard.
How do we get in? Oh, my dumb ass. Okay. Walking all the way around just to get in. Okay. Where's the entrance? Oh my god. Yep, I'm a dumb ass. I'm a dummy. Okay. Let's go talk to Martha.
Ah, you're back. Thanks for taking care of that.
The abbot had a message for you. 2 more have succumbed.
I see. Come upstairs. So, now you know, eh?
I've seen plenty of bearers die on the battlefield. But never like that.
And all because they were born different. The powers that be can't take away their gift, so they strip them of their humanity instead. Oh, there's plenty who pity a bearer's plight. But so long as we're content to sit around, weeping for those on whose broken backs we're carried, we ain't gonna change nothing.
And so you lend Sid your strength.
What little of it I have. Used profits from this place to buy the poor buggers.
So when the abbot told us the bearers were yours,
Aye, they're my property, at least by law. Any still fit to work fetch a price beyond my means. All I can do is care for those who are past mending. But it's not all doom and gloom. Bernard's finished fixing that bridge for you. You can carry on to Eastpool now. You got questions that need answering, ain't you? Well, I wish you luck.
thank you, Martha.
Oh, I almost forgot. Sid and I have other friends in Rosaria. Wear this and they'll know you for one of us. And know that you will always be welcome here.
Damn.
You were right, Sid. It really is them. Lord Rosfield and Lady Warwick have come back to us. And long may they stay.
Oh, dang. She knew who they were. She knew who they were. Dang.
Sid,
Ah, Clive. You're not where I left you.
hurt your hand.
I did, aye. With 1,000 little lightning bolts. Can't fling them around the way I used to. Think of it as my decoration for long service and exemplary misconduct. But you didn't come here to compare war wounds.
We didn't.
Thank you, Sid. For everything.
Sid is
If
sick.
you want to leave,
Probably the
that's
best
your lookout.
interpretation of him.
I'm sure you'll have a long and happy life together if you stay out of my way.
Sid!
Oh. I knew a girl back in the day. She was a slave to her fate, just like you. wanted to save her. For a while, I even thought I could. But just because you think something doesn't make it true.
Sid.
I'm no savior. Just a conceited old fool. I talk about people forging their own futures. But instead of handing them the hammer, I beat them with my own. And if no bugger wants to listen to what you've got to say, you might as well keep your gob shut. But Clive, I will say this. You're not a monster. You're the same man you've always been. Accept that, and you may yet escape your fate.
My fate.
Going.
Look, lad, you've had a hard life. And I don't see it getting much easier. You might not be able to save anyone else, but at the very least, you can save yourself.
I'll try.
And Jill, I'm sorry we didn't get a chance to talk, but I trust you'll take good care of the boy.
Yes, I will.
Is that the last of it?
Aye.
We'd best head back then. Wouldn't want to keep Nan waiting. Ta-ra then.
I hear the levies are due to go up.
All right, let's continue. Oh Jesus.
Don't you worry about them boards. I use good solid lumber.
Martha said the blight had spread even further south, pushing yet more monsters down with it. I dare say
Oh, we
we'll be
gotta go
seeing a
all
few
the way
along
up there.
the way.
Go.
Then we shall have to keep our wits about us. We're not alone.
Get him!
Yeah. Let's go. All right. Okay. So let's side quest.
You there! Over here!
That little jump.
Excuse me. I'll use that curse.
What?
Wait. That's the slumbering chocobo. Good. She won't because we tried dealing with it, but we didn't.
I expect...
We don't matter.
All right.
Hey, I'd wait.
All right, let's do this little side quest.
When you seen him, right?
Look hungry, all right. Hungry and mean.
Keep your distance, boy. Sick of Torgal. Over here. Sick of Torgal. Sick of Torgal.
How to find this Bryce. Let him know the road's safe.
Sick. They just had him move up ahead. We can keep it pushing.
Wonder how long that bait will last.
Are you bright?
What's it?
Your friend up.
You'd haven't. Then again, if you served.
Boom. Here we go. Quest complete. Play for like another 20 minutes, and then I'm gonna get going. I got some chores I gotta do. Do want to see what this next
The
bit is?
windmills. That must be Eastpool.
Come on.
Very well.
Oh, I thought these rolls. My bad.
That's enough.
Oops. Wrong animals.
I remember coming here with Lord Murdoch when I was young. This area seemed a very different place back then.
Oh, that's cool. That's a cool reference. Freaking Black Mage. Alright, is any items over here? Can't open the door. Can't go up there. Useless game asset. Oh.
Drink up now.
Okay. Eastpool.
Quiet, isn't it?
Yes.
You're Clive Rossfield. It's me, Hannah, Rodney Murdoch's wife.
Lady Hannah.
Oh, I knew it was you. You haven't changed at all. The Lord Marquis and Jill too. It's so good to see you both again.
It's good to see you too, Lady Hannah.
If you have time, you simply must come back to the house. I haven't much to offer, but what is mine is yours.
We should be delighted.
And you have been wandering the world ever since. I can well understand fleeing from those iron blood brutes. But oh, to take to the road at such a tender age.
It wasn't easy, but we survived, and
And now we're back. It's wonderful to see you safe and well, Lady Hannah. Do you think you will stay here, in Eastpool? Rosalith still enjoys the Mother Crystal's blessing, does it not? You could always move.
This house holds a lot of memories for me. So long as I can live here in peace, here I shall stay. Not that it matters. The capital is closed to civilians, by order of the Duchess. Or should I say, Her Imperial Majesty. Annabella's marriage to the Emperor of Sambrec heralded a great many changes here.
Yes. Of course.
Oh, forgive me. I didn't mean to...
Please. There is nothing to forgive. Would my mother not make an exception for you and your husband? Surely she would not refuse the Lord Commander.
You haven't heard, then. Rodney passed away on the night of the fire. He never returned from Phoenix Gate.
I'm sorry.
Clive.
My poor child. You look pale. All this traveling must have taken its toll. I insist you rest. We can talk later.
Are you sure you don't want to sleep inside?
I can't. Not after what I did.
Lady Hannah said she would prepare a change of clothes for you in the morning. She really has been very kind.
Years of killing. 13 years. Without the faintest glimmer of hope. It was only Joshua that kept me going. I swore that I would avenge his death. That I would kill his killer. That was the only thing that gave my life any meaning. But if it was me who killed Joshua and Murdoch and all the others, then why the hell am I still breathing?
Oops. What happened, PlayStation? Oh. Looks like Elgato. All right, we got a little issue here, guys. So, what I'm going to do, I think I'm going to call it here. Fortunately, sorry that it crashed. I got to figure out what the heck's going on. But yeah, my Elgato. Catch you guys on the next one. Yeah, we'll be probably back to streaming again on Wednesday. We'll probably continue the what's it called? Maybe some more design stuff. We'll continue this ultimate. Let it kick, let it marinate. Maybe just start just designing a bunch of ultimate things, or look at the core system, how to make it work. So until again, sorry about this. You guys take care and have a good one. Peace.